Here we got a company that's looking at buying a bulldozer, has a price of 100,000. Manufacturer has offered a payment plan that would allow the company to make 10 equal annual payments of 16,274 with the first payment due a year from now. How much total interest will SOSA pay on the plan? How do you think you want to figure out how much interest is going to be paid? So 16,274.53 times 10 payments. So that is, what is that? 162,745 less the principal of 100,000. So you're looking at 62,745 in total interest. Okay, so the manufacturer is offering this. Now, SOSA here could borrow 100,000 from its bank to purchase at 9%. And you're asked, well, should they borrow from the bank or the manufacturer? We've got the manufacturer's percentage versus the bank. The bank is offering you 9%. What is the manufacturer's effective interest rate, basically? Any guesses on how you would determine the interest rate that the manufacturer is offering? They're not telling you what it is. If you take this, divide by 100,000, that's going to give you, well, 62.74, but then you would divide by 10 years to give you an average rate, and that's about 6.3%. So does anybody have a guess on another way we could determine the interest rate, perhaps using those white buttons on your calculator? What do we know if we look at those buttons again? So we've got N, IY, PV, PMT, FV. In this set of data, what do we know? Do we know N?
N is 10?
Sure, it's 10 payments, right? Do we know IY?
No.
No, but that's what we're trying to figure out. Do we know what the PV is?
100,000?
Yeah, the PV is the principal or the amount today. Do we know what the payment is?
16,200.
274.53. And do we know what the FV is?
0.
It's 0 because at the end of the loan, there is no final value, right? Future value, final value, it's what to look at. Okay. Now, if you put these numbers as presented into your calculator, it will either give you an error or something pretty weird. And that's because the calculator treats the present value as the opposite sign of the payment and the future value. If we're going to put both of these in as positive numbers, you need to put this in as negative. So if you go 10N, I'm leaving IY because I'm going to calculate it, 100,000 plus or minus, you have to hit the plus minus button and put that in as PV. The payment is 16,274.53. Leave that as a positive number and put that in as a payment, and 0 FV. And now I can compute IY. And the effective interest rate is 10%, not 6.2%. So what it shows you is you can't just take the interest and divide by the original amount, right? Because the compounding effect that's involved here. That means that this is 10%, which means that this is 10%. So what do you like better? Do you like the bank's financing or do you like the manufacturer financing? You go with the bank. They're giving you 9 instead of 10.